A long, long time ago, before there were cars, tall buildings, and bustling cities, the world was a quiet, beautiful place. God had created everything: the sun, the moon, the stars, the mountains, and the oceans. He also created people to take care of the earth and to live in harmony with one another. At first, everything was good. The people loved God, and He loved them. But over time, things began to change. People started doing bad things. They lied, stole, fought with one another, and forgot about God. Instead of love and kindness, the world was full of greed, anger, and wickedness. God was very sad when He looked at the world. He saw how much people had turned away from Him. Their hearts were full of evil thoughts all the time. God, who loved His creation deeply, decided that something needed to be done. But in all the wickedness, there was one man who was different. His name was Noah. Noah was a righteous man. He loved God with all his heart and tried to do what was right. He lived with his wife and 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. Noah taught his family to pray and follow God's commands, even when everyone around them ignored Him. Because of Noah's goodness, God decided to save him and his family from the punishment that was coming. One day, God spoke to Noah in a clear, loving voice. "Noah," He said, "I am going to send a great flood to cover the earth. This flood will wash away all the evil, but you and your family will be safe. I want you to build an ark, a huge boat, to protect you, your family, and 2 of every kind of animal." Noah had never seen a flood before, but he trusted God completely. "I will do as you say, Lord," Noah replied. God gave Noah very specific instructions for building the ark. It was to be made of strong wood, sealed with pitch to make it waterproof, and built with 3 levels. It needed to have plenty of room for the animals and for storing food. Noah and his family worked tirelessly on the ark. They cut down trees, sawed the wood, and hammered the plates into place. It was hard work, but they were determined to obey God. As the ark grew bigger and bigger, the people in Noah's village began to notice. They laughed and made fun of him. "What are you doing, old man?" they sneered. "Why are you building such a huge boat on dry land? There's no water here." Noah tried to warn them. "Turn back to God," he said. "Stop doing wrong and follow Him. A flood is coming, and this ark will save us." But the people just laughed harder. They didn't believe Noah, and they didn't want to change their ways. After many years of hard work, the ark was finally finished. It stood tall and strong, ready to face the waters that God had warned about. Then something amazing happened. From every corner of the earth, animals began to arrive. Lions and tigers, elephants and giraffes, birds of every color, insects, and even snakes. 2 of each kind, 1 male and 1 female, came to the ark. They had prepared special rooms for each type of animal and stored enough food to feed them all. The people who had laughed at Noah were astonished. They couldn't believe their eyes. But even seeing the animals didn't make them change their minds. When everything was ready, God told Noah, "Go into the ark with your family. Take the animals with you, for the time has come." Noah and his family entered the ark, and God Himself shut the door. At first, a gentle rain began to fall. The people outside didn't worry. "It's just a little rain," they said. But soon, the rain became heavier and heavier. The skies grew dark, and water poured down from the heavens. Streams overflowed, rivers swelled, and the ground became a rushing sea of water. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights without stopping. The water rose higher and higher, covering houses, trees, and even mountains. The people who had mocked Noah now realized he was right. They ran to the ark, banging on the door and crying out, "Noah, let us in, save us!" But it was too late. The door was shut, and only God could open it. Inside the ark, Noah and his family were safe. They could hear the sound of the rain and feel the ark swaying on the waves, but they trusted God to protect them. Life inside the ark was not easy. Noah and his family worked hard every day to care for the animals. They fed them, cleaned their stalls, and made sure everyone was comfortable. The lions roared, the monkeys chattered, and the birds sang. It was noisy, but Noah and his family stayed calm. Every morning and evening, they prayed together. "Thank you, Lord, for keeping us safe," they said. God spoke to Noah and said, "It is time to leave the ark. Go out with your family and the animals. Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth." When Noah and his family stepped out of the ark, they were amazed. The world looked fresh and new. The sun shone brightly, and the earth was green and clean. Noah built an altar and offered a sacrifice to thank God for saving them. God was pleased and made a promise to Noah. God gave a grand altar. He made the sacrifice in sight. To seal his promise, God placed a beautiful rainbow in the sky. "This rainbow," God said, "is a sign of my promise to you and to all generations. Whenever you see it, remember my love and faithfulness." Noah and his family began a new life on the earth. They planted crops, raised animals, and taught their children about God's love and mercy. Noah would often remind them, "God is faithful. Always trust him and obey his commands. He keeps his promises, just as he kept us safe through the flood." Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, became the ancestors of all the nations of the world. Their families spread out across the earth, filling it with people once again. To this day, the rainbow remains a symbol of God's promise. It reminds us that God is loving and faithful, even when the world seems full of storms. Like Noah, we can trust God, obey him, and know that he will always be with us. If you enjoyed this story and found it inspiring, we'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and leave a comment below about what you've learned or what touched your heart the most. And of course, subscribe to our channel for more enriching and captivating Bible stories.